kind of handle that in the way that they would also, and I think that's the beauty of having a space that doesn't have like a formal structure to it. That was a learning experience, I think, for all of us. Now, I had to have another conversation with him after the fact. In the space itself, it was not necessarily resolved, but we had to Elmo a lot of different things. But after the fact, kind of explaining to him what safe space actually means and what does it mean to be in conversation and be present with people who may not agree with you, and what does that conversation look like in real time, and how some of the things that he was saying made people in the space feel unsafe, even people that he knows, and just kind of reflecting those things back to him. And we were able to have like a really good conversation. At the end of it though, because he was in violation of our kind of group safe space agreement, I asked him not to attend again until we could have another conversation, and he decided not to take that opportunity with me, and so we're still in this space where it's just like, I guess he's just not gonna come back. I don't like that, but that's just how that particular incident ended, and we still run into each other every now and again, and I'll bring it up because I guess I'm that asshole who was just like, so you remember that one time, like, but just to kind of like refresh his memory and like let him know I haven't forgotten. If you still want to have that conversation, the door is still open, and should you take up that opportunity, then yeah, you're always welcome, and that's just what it is. But for now, he has not been back, so yeah, that is what it is. Yeah.
When I was at Planned Parenthood, we did this program called the Peer Education Program, where we would partner with, I mean, be real, it's Planned Parenthood, so anybody would partner with us in Indiana. Just gonna own that. So anyway, so we actually partnered with the JAG program, Jobs for America's Graduates. Anybody's familiar with that? So I was doing an after-school program. So because it was JAG, attendance was, they had to come to this peer education program in order to get attendance for JAG. So it's not like the best scenario that it's like you have to go. So it's not like you get participants necessarily that want to be there. And I am not someone who wants to manage your attendance. I just don't. Like, you want to be there, cool, show up. You don't, cool. Like, let's just be friends. So, so inside of that program, they had to come to so many of the groups. And there was one young woman who would sit and this was like her body language the entire time she was there. And and I don't know how she smacked her gum. Like, it popped, that was amazing. So anyway, and it was not like the most structured space, so it's not like you had to raise your hand or anything, but like I'd be like, and this is an IUD, and she would just like burst out with some story about how like someone died from an IUD. I don't know. So anyway, it was just like, and I was just like, thank you. So shockingly, she missed several of the groups. And so per the agreement that I had with the JAG program, I had to write her this letter. And all the letter said was like, hey, you've missed some classes and you're in danger of not getting credit, whatever. It was, it's about as threatening as I look. So, it just wasn't. And I really didn't want to give it to her because, anyway, so I handed her the letter, I waited for her after the group, and it was just she and I talking. And I said, you missed some groups, and so we had this like conversation around it, and I said, so I have to give you this letter just so I can say I gave you a letter. It was not met well. So she removed the letter from my hands and and wadded it up and threw it at me. And I was like, okay. Heard. So she did not appreciate that I had given her a letter. So I said, and I picked the letter up and I uncrumpled it, and I said, honestly, I was like, when you aren't in the group, we don't get to hear your thoughts. And I really want to hear your thoughts. I think you have really good things to say.